R.I.P. Rome, keep your head. J.O., can you smell what the flock is cooking? Flock up and flock off. Not you stick around, because it's about to go down. You know, flock with the most energetic Eddie and the Eagle first. Here on the Fly Eagle Fly Friday, a Friday. Let's flock and go. Some people go home. You know how it go, man. But we ain't here what we got for our flock docs today, because if you know how YK. We need some therapy today, baby. Out here. So what we got for the flock docs, from the flock docs, what we doing? Listen, first things first, man. There's a lot of rage baiting going on out here. So we're going to get into that. I figure we're going to get into, did I even talk about the hard knock shit? Nah, man, I ain't been in my therapy session in a minute. So we got that. We got a few things. So we're going to get into it. We're going to have fun while we do it, right? Right. Fly, Eagle, flock, and fly, Eagle, fly. What else we got? Yeah, there was so much. Receiver came out. Receiver's super dope. Acho's out here wild and rage baiting. What's coming up in training camp? What do we think we're going to see, y'all? Let's flock and go. Let's get to it. But before we do anything, let's keep the maniac thing. Please like and subscribe. If you about that fly, Eagles fly. Drop a comment in that box if you flying with the flock. Let's fly. Do remember, join that maniac thing. Know the gang. You hit that bell. You get a ding whenever I'm on this YouTube thing. And we turned all the way to flock up today, because it's a Fly Eagle Fly Friday, baby. What else? What would you expect? You know what? What am I feeling first? Let's go. Let's get into the... What do you think? Real talk. Camp is coming up, right? And we've seen what's happened over the past few years. Like, we've been of this mind state that, I believe less is more. And I'm not going to lie, 2 years ago, I believe I even made a video going out to Derek Gunn when Derek Gunn was talking against the beliefs of our new coaching staff at the time, as far as the time we spent on the practice field during training camp and throughout the season, and not that much hitting and blah, 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 blah. And initially, I was of the mind state that, if we keep these guys, we take care of them in the preseason, we take care of them in the offseason, take care of them at all times. Like, just keep them cool. Try not to get too crazy with it. Let these guys heal. Like, this is a rough sport. This is a rough game. This is the hurt game. This is what happens in this game. This is going to be Hurt's game. You heard me? But chill, like, I just feel like that was my mind state. Not to mention the proof was in the pudding. It was proven to be true. We had less injuries over the first 2 years, the beginning of Nick and Sirianni's tenure. Not too many injuries. Things are looking good, way, because we know. I mean, dude. No one wants any of their players to be injured. I hate the I word. Y'all know that, right? No one wants their players to get banged up. Pause. Damn. No one wants these things, right? But these things happen. Not to mention, our team has won a Super Bowl while having the most important position on the field be injured. Then the second, some may argue, the most important position on the field, left tackle, injured. Like, it was across the board. It was like, and we still won that way. However, years prior, we've been bit by the eye bug many a time. And it usually will destroy a season. We've seen what we could count countless... Many a player from these Philadelphia Eagles has been injured over the years. So what Nick and Sirianni was doing, we figured, would keep our guys on the field and healthy. However, last year, the levees broke. Dudes were injured left and right, nonstop. It just kept happening. So it's like, what are we really doing? Last year could have been an anomaly, right? Because the previous 2 years, there wasn't that many injuries. However, we're hearing that, one of the most... Meanwhile, when he was here with us, we incurred... there was a lot of counts, a lot of strong dudes. Andy Reid, basically, is the guy that you look at and that you hear a lot of our old players talk about. Guys like Jason Avant, Quentin Michael, saying, Andy Reid's practices was rough, tumble, crazy. Like, it was going down. Like, these dudes you had to go hard, like, period. Like, it was, and then it prepared you for later on in the season. So I don't know what's going to happen in this training camp, but I say all of that to pose the question, do you think we're going to hit this training camp? Do you think there's going to be a change of that philosophy, especially after seeing what happened towards the end of last season? Just instilling a bit more toughness back into this locker room, back into this organization, back into this team. Not to say that any of it has ever left, but we are losing quite a lot of it. When you think about guys like Jason Kelce and Fletcher Cox no longer being here, it's good to have CJ back. I just love that he's back for the mere prospect of what he does in the locker room, just that energy. It seemed different last year. I was watching the Eagles 2023 recap yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. It was on NFL Network, da-da-da-da. It's like, yo, just the post-game celebrations, albeit it's like, yeah, we weren't winning the way we were winning the year prior, but still a win is a win is a win, and it's hard to win in this league, and it's just dope to have him back in the locker room as far as energy goes, because if I recall correctly, I know, because it used to be my intro, him and Jalen Hurts going crazy. What up, twin? And you know what I'm saying? Getting pumped, hyped after games, right? Loving we're having that back. But as far as toughness goes, we're losing a big proponent, big quotient, a big portion of that when we're losing guys like Fletcher Cox and Jason Kelsey. And what better way to instill a bit more toughness? I mean, we ain't got to hit all practice or something, just a little bit like just some helmets crack and get these guys ready because we want to hit this ground running. We want to hit the sky flying when it comes to game one. Like, dogs, we got to get it. And before I forget, speaking of sky flying, high flying in the sky, man, I almost forgot. Kept the maniac thing, but let's keep the main thing the main thing. Hope this video finds you in good vibes. Fly, Eagle, fly skies. If you're not there, I hope this helps you get there because we already in. Oh, yeah. And God knows I need it, baby. So we got that going, and man, we need the toughness. And back to the fact of just watching receiver, dude. Receiver number one. Receivers are crazy. Receivers out of their mind. I love the fact that they damn near all of them talk to themselves in third person. It's flocking nuts, and I'm so here for it because I don't know if you know the Eagle Maniac is known to talk to himself in third person. I don't know where he's at right now, but the dude's crazy. I don't like different persons swear. I don't know what's going on with him. But regardless of what, I just can't wait to see that energy that's back into this locker room because once again, like I said, looking back at that 2023 season, and even when we won, you know, and I hope this is one of those things, I mean, like, dude, it's like, say this to friends and family alike all the time. Like, you know, there's certain things we don't like about certain people in our lives. Like, but you know what, if you take little pieces away from them, then they cease to be them anymore. You feel me? So I don't want to change Jalen Hurts because he's got, like, the dude, he's that dude, H1M, yo, Jalen Alexander the Great Hurts. You kidding me? It's my quarterback, man. But just a few more tweaks, just things that can affect the rest of the team in a more positive way. Something of the sort of just at the end of these games, just celebrating. It just seemed like because we weren't winning the way we wanted to win, the energy in the room wasn't the same as it was the year prior. Meanwhile, the record was still the record. The record was, I understand, the standard is the standard. The main thing is the main thing, and all these things got you. But winning in this league is very hard. Very hard to do. I'm talking about, dude, let's just think about it. Let's break it down real quick. I looked at it. In a game, we're only watching about 13 minutes of real game time. 13 minutes. You have to fit 13 minutes of execution. The mind is the smallest, the most minute of factors can affect the win or a loss. Not even to deal with your skill or any of, you know, crazy things. You feel me? And people talk about, you know, Jalen Hurts always missing me. Dude, quarterbacks miss people all the time. These guys are open. You watch receiver, they're always open. You know what I mean? So regardless of what, it's just want a bit of an attitude adjustment after a win. I don't care if it's an ugly win, a beautiful win, whatever you want to call that win. I want that energy to be like, dog, let's celebrate these wins, get some good energy going in here, for good energy to go forward. I get it. Sometimes, you know, you're not going to do it the way you like it. Once in a while, you'll be upset about that. I get it. But damn it, it seemed like it was all damn season. If you watched it like I watched it yesterday, that was heavy on my mind. And I feel like I'm rage baiting and getting into rage baiting. They were talking about, and it brings us into philosophy, mind states, and energy and all that. Mr. Energy himself, Mr. Nixon Sirianni. Like, they're over there yesterday. Your boy Acho was speaking to how the fact that he should be in the hot seat, blah, 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 this, that, and the third, but other coaches that shouldn't be, and then comparing him and Shanahan, like, dude, but this guy, you know, he does this with that and da-da, but Sirianni, he had probably the best roster in the league the year he went. I'm like, dude, you're talking out of both sides of your beak, bro. Like, what are we really doing here? Like, the Niners, as much as I hate to talk, yo, dude, I really wanted to hate Debo during that receiver series. He turned out to be a bit more likable than I anticipated, way more than I wanted. The real guy I couldn't stand was, who was it? Oh, man, Amon-Ra St. Brown's dad. Like, whoa, that dude is straight from the yo, my bad, excuse me. This dude is from the Ice Age, bro. His mind state is nuts. But you know what? All jokes aside, man, it was a crazy cool documentary. You got to check it out when you get a chance. Receivers, flocking, dope. Regardless of whom or what. You look at these Niners, you talk about Sirianni had one of the best teams when he got the Super Bowl, but you're not looking at the roster on that other side. Like, these dudes are fielding a damn all-star team. Not to mention an all-star team. An all-star team, a bunch of dudes in their primes. Like, it's crazy. So you're going to sit here and pull what Sirianni does, but hold Shanahan on this pedestal just because you slobbing? We're going to chill out. I get it. Sometimes when you have an argument, you can paint the palette the color of your own opinion, and it's just going to fly like that because that's where you want it to fly, and you're the host of the show. I get it. But I mean, like, I'm acting like Acho's realistic. That's just hilarious. But regardless, it's like, but I was so shocked to hear James Jones come in and be the voice of reason, because very rarely has he been that for me on that show. I'm usually going back and forth with James Jones. Like, I'm really going back and forth with James Jones. This is nuts. But, you know, he's usually one that I have more contention with his opinions and his philosophies and ideologies and all that, right? However, this time James Jones was the voice of reason, speaking to the fact that what do you really want out of your coaches if not W's? W's, bro. W's. And that's all he's done since he's got here. 3 straight playoff appearances. What are we really talking about? Hot seat. However, I do know that this is Philadelphia. These are the Philadelphia Eagles. And they're held to a higher standard. And that's what they just kept saying and saying throughout the show while I'm sitting there stewing. And I'm being baited by the rage and raged by the baiting. And I'm just like, what the fuck is it? And I know this is their job to get me like this. However, a bit of a calm came over me when I kept hearing the word standard and the word standard and the word standard. And this is what I tell, once again, I harken back. It's going to be Friends and Family Day on PHly Friday. So what I say to my friends and family, like when someone does something, they're like, yo, but you didn't react like that with blah, 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 blah. It's like, because I hold you to a higher standard. Therefore, I'm going to get more hyped, more pumped, more frustrated. But you don't fly to the heights that I believe you can fly to. And I'm thinking, like, you know what? I kind of get it. These are the Philadelphia PHlockin Eagles. And whatever the case may be, I mean, look, we got rid of what? Doug Peterson, 2 years after he won the damn Super Bowl, the only Super Bowl in the history of this organization. 2 years later, the guy that helped us get there is gone. The quarterback that helped us get there is gone. And much to Acho's point, as much as I couldn't stand some of the things he was saying, it's like, dogs, like when Lurie does it, it almost doesn't matter. So on one end, I would be highly upset. Just like I was when we got rid of Reed and Peterson alike. Not so much Chip. But I'd be very upset if we were to get rid of Nick. However, I could rest in the fact that I know that this leader, our boy, Jeff Steban Lurie, who works for me, Howie busting the stupid dope moves, working for Jeff Steban Lurie, you know what I'm saying, is out here leading the way for this organization, and he has very rarely, if ever, led us in the wrong direction as far as acquiring head coaches and talent for this organization over the past 20 years. I know some of y'all say, oh, only one Super Bowl to show for it, but so many awesome Sundays, way more awesome Sundays in the second half of my life than the first half of my life. And you know what? If we're doing it on the value of that quantity, I'm rocking with Jeff Steban Lurie. You hear me? You know, the trips that come, you know, we've been to 3 of them things in 20 years. That's a once every 7-year average. Like, dogs, it's a beautiful place to be. It's a beautiful fan to be a beautiful team to be a fan of right now. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely fine with that. And on that end, I'd be upset if he was gone, but if he had to go, I wouldn't be mad at the man in charge, putting the right person in the place to be. That's Lincoln Financial Phil. Let's lock and go. And you know what? So I'm over the rage, man. Spoke on Sirianni. Oh, man, quick, inside the mind of the maniac, man. So you see this gritty dance, and I'm just watching. I'm seeing all the things that Jefferson went through last season. And then he did that little silly gritty where he was acting like he had the hamstring issue. And boom, what happens? He gets a hamstring issue. Then I'm watching the gritty dance. I'm like, you know, what's going worldwide? You're seeing kids doing it. And I'm like, that's like, it's something, a whole lot of gang going on in that dance. Like, if you know, like bloody. And then he gets injured and he's spitting up blood. I just thought, yo, what kind of craziness is going on here? What? It's had to be New Orleans. Some New Orleans fans probably don't put some voodoo on. Nah, that ain't right. Let me chill. We're going too far, maniac. But yeah, I mean, it was just weird to me inside the mind of maniac. And let's get outside of there because it gets wild inside of there. And I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. That is crazy. Wow. Amon-Ra is a whole fucking beast. Like, I would love to see a season of that show with what's AJ and Smitty even got it. Like, our dudes are just crazy to start a show, man. Like I said, I can't stand the Niners, but I mean, Kittle is a whole crazy, like he is definitely cut from the same cloth as maniacs. Like I'm putting the show. I can't believe I'm saying this, but yeah, he's the whole star of the show. Debo was actually kind of cool. Devontae Adams, bro, wants to get the flock up out of there, dude. Like it's nuts. And enough of that, because I would love to see our guys. I mean, it was rough. I didn't want to watch it at first because I knew they were going to go into that Niners-Eagles games. I mean, as far as, the Hard Knocks show went, we won and won on it for the season this year. Like, we beat the Chiefs. No. Chiefs, that didn't matter. I saw that yesterday. We beat the Vikings, right? So, but I mean, they just flew past that one because we smacked them up. But then, they spent so much time on that Niners game, bro. Like, block about it. And I forgot that, we really held them dudes down in the first quarter. Like, what happened? What happened when the levees broke? It was stupid. And the last thing I want to get into is, of course, Hard Knocks, man. Do a quick recap of that. Now, maybe I get into it because I'm supposed to get into that for Thursday. So, yeah. So, Colin Cowherd crushing the Giants GM. Like, it looked very, very wild to me, dude. Like the guy saying, Joe Shane saying that he knew what was going on, but then he didn't know what was going on, heard that the Eagles was out, and it's like, bro, like, who are your sources, fam? Where are you getting your stuff from? Similar to the same mind state that Colin Cowherd is just what I'm thinking while I'm watching it. Colin Cowherd comes on the next day and saying the same thing I'm thinking. Like, what is going on? It's like, why? Prior to watching this show, and I can't imagine a lot of shows would want to do this ever again with the access that they have, watching teams and the inner workings of how they do things, unless they're really just playing games, because Joe Shane was smiling and like everyone else looked, super upset. And it's like, could he just not play the role anymore? Are they playing a role? Is it something? I mean, not to mention, I just figured that he never wanted Saquon the whole time. And that's okay. That is all right. Will not begrudge him that. People have their affinities and their likenesses for different players and what you're going to do with your team and the future of your team and how to move those things around. Just the one thing that I continuously harken back to is the fact that Saquon Barkley would only count as 2% towards your overall cap. And it's like a Saquon Barkley counting as only 2% of your overall cap, and you can't find a way to keep that or don't want to keep that. I don't know. I can't figure that part out. That's for him to decide and go forward with. I mean, so instead of 2%, Singletary costs 1% towards your cap. Would that have affected you in getting burns or whatever the case may be? But you saw they had to do a lot of moving around when it came to the other offensive linemen that they acquired. So that was pretty cool to see how they finagled that bagel and made those things work. It's just the whole Saquon of it is weird to me, of course, because now that he's an Eagle, I'm looking at him through Eagle-colored glasses. There's a heightened bias, because he's an Eagle now. So I will have to temper that when giving out my thoughts on Shane. But it just seemed weird, a lot of the things that it seemed like he didn't know. He seemed emotionally awkward as far as his communication with the owner. The owner was beside himself. He just couldn't, not so much beside himself, but he said he would lose sleep if Saquon went to Philly. And sure enough, Saquon ended up to Philly, and he just had to get up out the room. Like, it was just beyond him handling it right there at that point. Fight goes fucking fly, and we got our guy. And it was just it was just funny to me, his reaction, him not knowing what was going, where it was going, how it was going, and his emotional unawareness, whatever, when he just seemed to be completely off than everyone else in the room. Who knows? Later down the line, a few years later, you look at him and be like, yo, Joe Shane was ahead of the game. That dude is a genius, psycho, crazy maniac. Like, wow, like sitting there smiling at the death of his offense. It was crazy to me. But that kid, I keep seeing it, man. That kid Neighbors looks freaking nuts. Just a few quick positives that I went through the mind of the maniac over the course of the week. It was funny to me that Jalen Hurts went from top 5 to not mention it all. But I kept telling y'all that this is kind of where I want him to be, because this is when we fly higher. This is when hungry birds fly higher. Hungry dogs hunt faster. You know what I mean? Things of that sort. And then one last thing, Booger from not Inside the NFL. The ESPN show, NFL Live, right? Booger, right? He said, what did he say? Hurts is never going to be a pocket passer. Should say this for Thursday, Hurts Day, but I just couldn't keep it in. This is therapy for me and you, and we need to get these things off our chest, off our necks, right? And it baffles me. I understand these guys, and there goes the rage baiting again. The bait and raging me. I don't know if these guys are aware or they just have so much work to do, or once again, they're just trying to poke the fans' feathers, pull the fans' feathers, whatever you want to call it, Philadelphia Eagles fans' feathers. But is he unaware that Hurts led the league in pocket passing the year prior? So to say something as asinine as that he will never be a pocket passer when he has already been one, the only thing I can think he meant was never again, possibly. Like, okay, that's your opinion, I get it, but never, like, it's just saying he's never be something that he already has been. So what the flock are we really talking about there? Not to mention, I'm hearing there's a whole lot of next-gen metrics out there that are saying that we're going to look pretty damn dope out there this season. But, you know, we don't know until we get on the field, man. Like I heard, who was it? I believe it may be the offensive coordinator for the for the Houston Texans. It was like, man, expectations, none of that stuff ever did anything to win games. All that is hard work on the field, playing these games, winning, going out there, busting your ass, doing the damn thing. I'm paraphrasing to a certain extent, but that's what he meant. I know that's what he meant. And I can't wait till we get out there and let these dudes know what we mean. It's damn NFL, bro. I'm super pumped. What we got about a week now? But you know, I believe they report on next Wednesday, and they're probably not really going to get in there, really start doing anything till next Thursday. So we got about six more days until we get into that, man. And then, like, I feel like in 2 weeks, we got the Hall of Fame game, albeit it ain't going to be us, and some football back on that field. Then August 9th, we got preseason games. And September 5th, Brazil. About Passados, don't forget it. That means go Birds in Portuguese. Let's fucking go to the next time. Make it the best time. In the meantime, between time, give it a great time. You already know how I like to do around this time, about this time, at this time. It's always Eagles o'clock around here. We got our bands back, man. What you gonna do when Saquon Barkley runs wild? Eagle Mania swoops down, runs wild on you. Say it with me, y'all. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles. Yeah, that was cool. That was a good one, man. Let's get the flock up out of here. Once again, RP Rome, man. Joe, you good, man. Peace.